Hey everybody, how's it going? Here to talk about the Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder preview. This is gonna be this might be, other than the finals, this might be the best series out of everything in the players. Even if it comes to the Celtics and the Heat, or if it's OKC versus versus the Spurs. I think this is gonna be the best uh, series, just emotionally wise, just X's and O's wise. Each of these teams' strengths is the other team's weakness, and this is going to be a really key series. And I think the winner out of this really might be the NBA champs. So starting off first, I'm definitely start off with some keys for the Oklahoma City Thunder in this game. Um, Once again, it still goes back to the Westbrook versus Durant coming down in big time situations. Westbrook is a phenomenal player, a guy, a part of the new breed of scoring point guards in the league, and he's a guy that can score with the best of them. Finished top 5 in scoring this year. And you got Kevin Durant, the scoring champ, 2 3 years in 2 or 3 years in a row. A guy who gets nothing but buckets. And how is that dynamic gonna fare out? Their games actually complement each other, but sometimes Russell Westbrook likes to get into that hero one-on-one type of ball, especially if he's got it going, and he gets to a point where if he has to go and all of a sudden he cools off, he keeps finding a way. So him being able to be the table setter, getting Durant some open looks, getting James Harden some open looks, getting Cephalosha, and that's going to be key for them. Another key is going to be those bigs down low. How do Ibaka and Perkins, they have to play phenomenal defensively and also contribute offensively in this series. Um, the one thing that really bothered me, that I was the first one that didn't really love the the Perkins and Jeff Green deal with Boston last year. I didn't love that deal because it took something away that Oklahoma City had, and I think that I understand that probably that Jeff Green wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't be able to resign everybody, and Jeff Green probably would have walked away from you at the end of this year, or he could have walked away from you last year. But the thing what I think about Jeff Green that really is going to hurt this team coming down the stretch is the Thunder rely so much on the jump shot. If you look around there, where do they mostly get their points from? You got Westbrook, who can take it to the rack and hit a jump shot. You got Derek Fisher, who's going to hit a jump shot. Daquan Cook, he's a three-point specialist. James Harden, a guy jump shot who relies on jump shots, can get into the lane and get in foul trouble. Durant can get to the free throw line. Durant, a guy who relies on his jump shot. And the one thing is about this team, it's going to be rare that all three of them will miss jump shots, or a combination of guys will miss jump shots. They don't have a guy who can score inside, who can give you low post scoring. Um, Jeff Green, even though he struggled their first time a couple years ago in the playoff, Jeff Green was a guy who you can put on that low block. He could post somebody up, or he could take him off the dribble from there, and he could also stretch his game out. He was a guy who could stretch the defense, and a guy like Perkins, who's not a low post scorer in the least bit, and Ibaka, whose offensive skills are coming, but he's more of a defensive presence. It kind of hurt them getting Perkins and having him be, he's going to be a guy who's supposed to shut down Andrew Bynum, or shut down the centers in the West. And there's not really a lot of centers in the game, so getting Perkins was really something I really didn't love for OKC. And I thought Jeff Green, if to me the Thunder would have been a team to win the championship, hands down, if they still had Jeff Green on this team, just because his ability to score inside and be a post and guy that could score down low, either be a posting or be his mid-range shot. Because if none of those guys' shots are falling from the outside, are you going to throw the ball to Kendrick Perkins and say, Kendrick, can you get us 10-15 in the post? Ibaka, can you get us 10-15 in the post and get a guy like Pau Gasol to get a guy like Bynum in foul trouble? No, you can't, because those guys are defensive players. So I think that those two, Ibaka and Perkins, got to give you something on the offensive end when it comes to low post scoring, because that's a real weakness for the Oklahoma City Thunder coming into this game. And I think another key is going to be James Harden. James Harden is going to have to continue the high type of production that he's getting this postseason. He's got to be a guy, come off the bench, give him energy, knock down that offensive shot. Sometimes when he comes in, he's more like a guy who's like a table setter guy who can run the point, who's kind of like their point guard, and Westbrook plays off the ball. So that's going to be key for them as well, too. Moving on to the Lakers. You got to get the outside perimeter shots going down. Like I said, the strength for the Oklahoma City is their perimeter game, but the weakness for the Lakers is their perimeter game. You have a guy like Kobe, Roman Sessions is an iffy three-point shooter. Steve Blake is really the only three-point presence that you have out there. But sometimes his shot's not falling most of the time. You have Ron Artest, aka Metta World Peace. He's gonna be a guy who can knock down an open shot. Matt Barnes can knock down an open shot. So they have to find a way to knock down open shots in perimeter, because you know they're gonna be able to score down low in the block. So that's gonna be something that's key for them. Another key for the Lakers is definitely going to be Kobe. I think this is Kobe's series to really, I wouldn't say take over, but this is Kobe has to be efficient. I expect Kobe to maybe average close to 28, 30 a game. I think this is the series he was waiting for. The whole thing that they had with James Harden and stuff like that, little trash talking they were going back and forth. I think this is the series that Kobe. We're gonna see the old Kobe, and I'm not talking about last year's Kobe or 2 years ago Kobe. I'm talking about Kobe, 81-point Kobe. Kobe that he's just unconscious from outside. He's getting to the rim. He's scoring. He's getting fouled. He's getting and ones. I think we're gonna see that type of scoring mentality, Kobe. But like I said, he also got to get the balls down to the bigs. And another key for them is definitely gonna be the mindset and the mental toughness of the big men down low, and Bynum and Gasol. As you saw in Game 1 and Game 7 against the if those two are engaged, this Lakers team is the best team in basketball in my opinion. You have two 7-footers who can give you significant guys who can give you 20 and 10 a night at the same time. Those two guys are that good. So if their mental game can be in it, it's going to be a very big series. I think they can have a very big series against these guys and get those guys like Perkins, get Ibaka in foul trouble. Guys who like to be a little bit aggressive down low. Get them in double moves, up and unders. Get them in foul trouble, because the Thunder really do have they don't have great depth in the front court, especially with their bigs. So if you can't get Collison in there and try to get Perkins and Ibaka in foul trouble. The matchup that I will definitely be looking for in this game, in this series, I would say, is going to be the Kevin Durant versus Metta World Peace matchup. That's the key matchup to watch out for in this game. I think Metta is probably the best on-ball defender that we have, I think, in the league. His strength, and I think if he can just get up in Durant and make him take those tough fall-away shots, because the one thing I always say about Kevin Durant is he's a great shooter, but if he's not shooting, he doesn't really have a post game for you. And I think if he even tries to go in the post, I think that a guy like Metta will eat him alive in the post due to his strength. And I think that Metta is going to have to, I wouldn't say he has to keep up production wise, but he has to counter off that. He has to knock down those open three shots that he's going to get. If he can give this team 10 to 12 a night, I think it's going to be really hard for this Oklahoma City team to win. And I think the unsung hero in this series might be Devin Ebanks. And I say Devin Ebanks because I think that down the stretch, the Lakers might go to something where they have Kobe bringing up the ball, Kobe's running the point, or maybe Ron Artest is in foul trouble, and they need somebody to guard Russell Westbrook. And Devin Ebanks, what everybody doesn't see that's so underrated about him is he reminds me of a Trevor Ariza. How when the Lakers won their first ring with Trevor Ariza, he was the guy inbounding, he was the guy stopping the point guard. I think that Trevor Ariza was a main cause to the Lakers winning a championship also, but I think Devin Ebanks can make that Trevor Ariza type impact on the team. A guy who can guard, his length, his defensive ability can definitely guard somebody like Russell Westbrook and frustrate Russell Westbrook to a shot where it's going to be hard for him to get into the paint, or he's chucking up crazy shots. So that's what I think coming down to this series. With that being said, I got the Lakers in 6. I think I'm probably one of the only people that think the Lakers have a shot to win this series. Like I said, if they can get the big men down low involved, and Kobe and Ron Artest just frustrates Kevin Durant. This is going to be a really hard series, I think, for OKC to win, and I think the Lakers will steal one of the first two games on the road and come back to LA with a 1-1 or a 2-0 lead in the series, and that's when Oklahoma City is going to be is definitely going to be in a bind. So I got the Lakers in 6. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.